All right, and we are back. Welcome to Sharko's Tactical Podcast, episode 23. I'm Will Mead, I'm the owner, and I'm here with my homies. I have Omar.
Hello.
I have Luke Andrews.
What up?
And the amazing Dean Carroll.
One and only.
The one and only. Welcome, guys.
What's going on?
Before we get into the podcast, if you could take a second to like our page, if you're hearing this, like the YouTube page, smash the button, hit the alerts, whatever. Go to our other social media pages like Instagram, Twitter, or X. Facebook, we're there on SCT Customs and Lasers. We do the podcast not to become famous, but to make a better digital footprint of our business, to increase it, to bring people into the store so we can grow and be organic. So what did you guys think of the election?
Couldn't have went better.
Couldn't have went. Where were you, Dean, when it happened?
At home, in my game room.
In your game room?
Yeah.
What's the game room of Dean like?
Oh, man. The perfect place.
Is it? Oh,
Almost.
God.
I got like 2 desks in there, a building desk for like firearms and computers. My desk I can use my computer at.
What kind of floor?
It's carpet.
Carpet.
Unfortunately, yeah.
How big?
10 by 10.
Okay, so you have a 10 by 10
game room, yeah.
game room inside your house.
Yeah, with virtual reality in there too.
Does Sarah have a 10 by 10 game room?
She's got a master bedroom.
Okay. So you've got a desk that you can build guns on.
Yeah.
You have a desk that you do video games.
Yep.
And you're in there. Are you playing games or are you just watching the election?
Just watching election for election. Just chilling out, drinking some tea, just hanging out.
How late did you stay up?
All the way until they announced he won.
Oh my God, that was like what? Almost 3 o'clock in the morning.
It was pretty late. I just had to know. I didn't want to go to sleep like thinking and wake up and some crazy shit happened. I had to know.
What about you, Luke? What were you doing?
I was just at home. I fell asleep way too early. I was so mad at myself in the
Was
morning.
it you and Chris by yourselves?
No. I was, just chilling, and I was like, oh, I'm going to stay up all night and watch it. And then like at 11 o'clock, I fell asleep.
How were you watching it? Was it just like the TV or were you watching live streams? What were you doing?
I had my TV going with like, I think Fox News, and then I had my laptop looking at all different stuff, Twitter, YouTube, live streams and stuff.
What about you, Dean?
I had it on the computer and I just did a bunch of live streams. I got like 3 monitors set up. So each monitor had 2 different.
Who?
Ben Johnson.
Ben
Fox.
Johnson.
I had
Fox.
Fox up there. I can't even remember. What is the name of that one? They kept going back to him for.
Who's your daddy?
No.
That's not it?
What Ben Johnson was using to find out what states were, I guess, counted. I forget which one he was using the most because he said it and he had a link on there and I clicked that. But any links I could find, I just kept pulling them all up to make sure everyone was kind of the same to see if there's any cheating going to happen.
I was terrified for cheating.
That's why I had to stay up to the end.
What about you, Omar?
I was watching Steven Crowder's live stream, and I was also at home. And
Were you watching it with your parents?
No, just alone.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
You don't live with your parents anymore.
I stayed up till I think it was 2 a.m. And then by 2 a.m. I was checking on the betting odds, and it was 95 to
95%, yeah.
And I was thinking, I was like, it's 2 a.m. If I put $100 on Kamala and they do a ballot dump at 3 a.m., I make like $2,600. So I put $100 on Kamala, expecting that at 3 a.m. there'd just be happenstance that you've seen the graph in the 2021 where it's just the spells F.
So you were really, really paranoid.
I was because
paranoid. You were like cautiously.
I was so sure that
cautiously apprehensive.
The way that I'm thinking about it is, if I put all my eggs on Trump and Trump lost, I'm fucked. At least now I can say I put my eggs on Kamala because I was really sure that there were enough idiots out there that were going to vote for her and some shady shit was going to happen. And if I'm wrong, well, Trump's the fucking president, so it's a win-win situation.
Win-win.
Yeah.
True.
But yeah, I genuinely thought that come around 3 a.m. we would see some sort of mail-in ballot dump or something along those lines that was going to, cause civil war or whatever it was. But after 2 a.m., I passed out, and then the next morning I woke up. I'm all groggy from my sleep, so I wasn't even thinking about it. I just opened my phone, looked at Instagram, and the first thing I saw was a liberal crying. I went, no way. No way. And I opened Google, I typed in election, it says AP has called this race for Donald Trump, and I fucking got up and I was like, yes! Screamed as loud as I could. I was so relieved. It felt like a whole world of so much was lifted off my shoulders.
I got home and I think we closed a little early. I bolted out of here as soon as I could. I set up my laptop in one room, my computer, and I have a garage, Dean. You have like a 10 by 10 beautiful room. I've got a fucking garage with a bunch of shit in it. I've been banished to the garage. But I set up I have 3 monitors on my computer in the garage, and I had Polymarket up real big. I had Google up. Like Google and Polymarket were like 2 of the best ones that I found to get results. Mm-hmm. And then I can't remember what I did with the other monitor. And then I watched Fox, and I would jump over from Fox into MSNBC.
Yeah.
And it was really because I was waiting for their fucking meltdown. You know what I mean? Like you're waiting for and what really got me going though was watching the states, because Ohio went blue early on.
Yeah.
Texas went blue early on.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes.
I had around 8:00, like me and Captain Nate, Captain Nate, mm-hmm. He was texting me. He's like, I think we're fucked, man. I'm like, I do too, man. Fuck. We're fucked. Because I thought because Omar, you've been so adamant about them cheating, or about the young vote, about them. And I got so paranoid, but I've been studying the thing since, forever. But I really started studying it hard, maybe May, and I got on a couple websites and a couple YouTube pages that studied polls that went out every day. I know you can't rely on polls, but then the Polymarket thing came out. Do you guys know about Polymarket?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's where I was betting.
Yeah, you bet there. But Polymarket had it, they were nailing it. They're like, there's no way. Then and I looked at it and I'm like, I think he's gonna fucking win really big. But you kept saying, I'm not gonna be able to buy a house.
Yeah.
Because of people my age. Right? Is that what you
terrified.
said?
Yeah. The way that I was looking at it, because it's people that I interact with on a daily basis, there was such a significant amount of them that genuinely knew nothing about anything politics.
Yeah, but when do you
related.
talk to those people?
What?
Do you talk to those people recently?
Yeah, it's not necessarily just a one-on-one conversation with, but just seeing what they post. I follow a lot of left-leaning people.
You do?
I like to see both sides of the argument.
Okay.
I've know thy enemy.
Yeah, but they're fucking crazy.
I know, it's fucking hilarious sometimes. But yeah, I like.
They were so wrong.
Oh, they were so wrong. And I couldn't be happier about it. But I was so sure that it would. All these odds were not accounting how many people, my uninformed people, my age, that would not bet or answer a poll or anything like that genuinely just believed, if I don't vote for this Indian lady, the world is going to end because Trump's going to take away women's rights and all this stuff. That's what all I kept hearing is oh, these people genuinely believe that Trump is going to get rid of women's rights altogether. And
yes.
That made me terrified, because now I can't own a home because people want to kill kids or whatever it is.
The Satanists want to kill kids.
I could not be happier with the outcome. I was so relieved.
See, I was, because we at Shark Coast, something we do is we make the Trump gun, and we were the first, not really the first, so we were probably the second. The first company to make a Trump gun was Outlaw Ordnance and Magnum Research, and they did the 1911. And then a company came to us and said, "Hey, can you guys do something like this?" And we're like, "Yeah, we can do something like this." And originally we did it on 1911, and then we did it on a Glock. and this was back in 2017. So we've cut out like this little niche of doing Trump themed firearms for 7 years now. And so I've been real cognizant on like the election results and what they might be. And even like our clients are like, oh, I don't fucking know, man. It looks like he's going to lose. Like the first debate, I got really worried.
Yeah,
She fucking smoked him in that debate.
Yeah.
Smoked him. And because she had the fucking earpiece. She had the fucking earpiece.
Cheating, bitch.
She fucking cheated. Right? She cheated with that goddamn
She
ear.
spent like 3 weeks not doing her vice presidential duties and just preparing for a debate.
And all she needed was the earpiece.
Trump was campaigning and working the whole time.
Absolutely.
She went off into an island and fucking with like 8 Trump impersonators doing every possible combo of like how she's going to respond. And I mean,
Did she really have Trump impersonators?
No, this is 100% true. She had like 8 different Trump impersonators, and she
Probably
just
paying
kept-
him $1 million each.
Yeah. Just kept practicing with him, and that's how I feel like she was able to catch him in a trap so easily. Because as soon as Trump would start talking about something that's going to fucking end her on the live, on live, she would just be like, also his rallies are tiny. And he'd be like, wait, hold on. My rallies are huge. And it just completely took him off point. Like, she played him like a fiddle on that debate.
It would piss me off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd get mad. What are you talking about?
I will say, though, the smartest thing that Trump could have done is before she was able to go, excuse me, I'm speaking.
Well, no, I think one of the smartest things he did was they're eating the dogs.
That's all people remember from that debate.
That's all people remember.
So
But, God.
you were worried about that, but how did it go in 2020 for you? I mean, I wasn't around back then, but
I didn't like. I was so confident that he would take it that I didn't follow the polls as much as I did.
okay.
But I did watch the election. Like I watched it, and we fucking had it. And
Yeah.
then we woke up and
Yeah.
it was gone. And like Pennsylvania and the Satanists in Michigan and the Arizona, like they fucked us. But
Yeah.
I didn't watch. But allegedly the polls, like the not the poly market of the time, had Biden winning. But there is the issue of those 15 million pesky votes that
Yeah.
disappeared. What do you guys think of that?
It's so funny.
It's so funny.
Seeing people on social media like not make the connection.
Like fucking melting down.
How come this election's got to be rigged? This one's
Yeah.
got to be rigged. There's 15 million votes missing. Where are the 50 million votes from 2020? It's like, interesting.
Do you notice that like right or left, none of the personalities really like harped on it. Like the Megyn Kellys, the Sean Ryans, the Joe Rogans, Benny Johnson, like nobody said, okay, there's plain evidence that there was fucking election interference. Like there's 15 million votes missing. And nobody in the podcast stratosphere or the influencer stratosphere has taken that on. Do you guys notice that?
I think a lot of it also had to do with the whole Israel-Palestine thing, because I feel like a lot of people didn't vote for Kamala out of protest for Palestine.
Oh yeah, but
feel like-
15 fucking
No,
million?
I'm not saying all of it, but I feel like that
Yeah.
definitely had to do something with it.
No, I'm saying that people don't want to fucking rock the boat. Whoever, like, I think that like the left, like especially the fucking maniacs over at MSNBC or The View, they would be talking about election interference every day
Oh yeah,
because there's 15 fucking million. But their overlords, I think, told everybody like shut the fuck up.
well, yeah, because people went to prison 4 years ago for saying the exact same thing.
I know. I think that it's not. I think that it's a continuation of the cover up. You know what I mean? Like why isn't there some right wing person saying, "Hey, this is fucking proof."
My favorite thing is when they're talking about like in this state, the fucking what's it called? Like the head of agriculture or whatever got more votes than Kamala did. It's like maybe you should look into that.
Yeah.
You should look into that guy.
Exactly.
Well, I think it was interesting to see how many there's a correlation between like Democrats who won, but then Kamala lost that district or that county, which is interesting because it shows that a lot of people didn't like her. People were like, I'm a hardcore Democrat, but I'm not going to vote for Kamala, whatever your name is, Kamala.
It's comma and then la.
I don't care.
Kamala.
Kamala.
I dare her to pronounce my name, then I'll take the time to pronounce hers.
Kamala.
She might even get the accent right. What do you mean?
Kamala.
Yeah,
She might appropriate you.
They hit me late.
She might appropriate you. I thought, like, I gained a little bit of confidence from my kids. And I harped on this a bit, like, before. Like, the one cool thing about having kids is you kind of know what's cool and what's not. And for a long time, Joe Biden has not been cool to kids. Like they like my daughters and even like my sons, like my sons are, I would say, progressive or like they're not right-wing people, and they're kind of more left-wing, and they were anti-Biden from day one. And more so, like, all the kids like realized that Biden had dementia a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like Omar's conviction that the masses of blue-haired children out there who should not be voting are just voting in Kamala. What didn't come to fruition because it's not cool anymore. Yeah. Like it's not cool to like. It's not like that's it. Like it's not cool to be Democrat anymore. It's losing its luster. Like it's the whole. I think like the whole like trans identity, left wing identity, like the whole what is it?
Wokeism.
It's not wokeism, but it's like it's the whole fucking like I'm up here on a mountain telling everybody they're fucking idiots. That culture. I guess that's wokeism or cancel culture. I don't know how to, but there's this whole genre of kids out there that started with the right around the pandemic where it was okay to call people out and fucking and shame them for their beliefs or for whatever, and that was like okay, and then people have slowly like eroded it. I think it started with the fucking comedians. The comedians were the first people. The comedians were the first people that were like, you know what, fuck you, you're fucking stupid and funny. I'm going to make fun of you. Mm-hmm. And so Dave Chappelle started making fun of trans people, and then and it slowly started to crescendo, and then you have Tony Hinchcliffe, making fun of Puerto Ricans at the Madison Square Garden cat. Right?
Yeah.
And so once like all these comedians got into it, and once I saw my kids, I was like, yeah, he's gonna fucking win. But you never know. Like they'll fucking cheat. And then we were all scared about, well, if they don't cheat, there'll be a fucking revolution by the blue hairs. Right? The next day. Like what happened to that?
That was nowhere to be seen.
What happened?
I was shocked.
I think it's mainly just because of how hard we won.
But where are the armies that appeared during the Summer of Love?
Right now, false flag operations, my opinion. You're
Soros.
No, but where are they?
Suddenly out of nowhere, there's videos coming out of like people flying swastikas walking around being like, yeah, we're Nazis. Look at us. We're Nazis in America.
They look way too healthy and they all match.
Yeah.
The black bloc people didn't match.
I would argue that instead of the whole go down and burn down a city, I feel like the approach, I don't know if you saw about it, but right after the election, a bunch of African Americans were getting phone calls telling them that, like, you have been selected to pick cotton, report to your closest plantation or whatever. They were all getting these text messages, and then somebody looked into it, and every single person that got a text message was registered on Kamala's website as a voter. It's like, from the circles that I'm in, I'm hearing a lot of people showing the Nazi marches going on and all these hateful text messages, basically false flag operations, make the people believe that things are so much worse than they actually are. Like, I would not be surprised at all if Kamala's own campaign texted that text message to everybody on their list that was black, just to, make them more hyped up to vote next time, I guess, or at the midterms, whatever it might be. But when there's no problem, manufacture it,
Were you guys kind of disappointed that the blue-haired Antifa hordes didn't come and protest us and stuff?
No, I think it was a good sign. I mean, to me, it feels like.
Or do you think it's coming?
I don't think it's coming.
You don't?
No.
I think something will go on during the inauguration or maybe January 6th ish.
You think
Sort
so?
of.
It'd be
Yeah.
so funny. They go to
I don't
the
think they got the
Capitol.
balls. I don't think they got the balls. I think it'll be calm. It'll just be them crying on the internet, just like they did.
Because also,
Yeah.
I mean, they made such a big point for the last 4 years about how important a peaceful transition of power and democracy is. Like, you can't get more democratic than what just happened. So they've got, even if they don't want to, they've kind of got to play into the whole, we're peaceful, we're not going to do anything crazy. You know, we're not going to storm the Capitol.
I mean, I did see protest in L.A. and Chicago the night after, and they got a little rowdy. But I think the L.A. one was kind of hijacked. Like, it got hijacked by anti-Trump people, but it really was, remember, because they won the World Series or something?
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
And they looted L.A. Isn't that what
Not a lot to
happened?
steal, but
Didn't they,
Yeah.
didn't they loot Detroit when the Lions won the NFC Championship or something?
no.
No. Oh wait,
But
yeah, you guys haven't been to the
come-
NFC Championship,
Yes,
right?
we were there last year.
Oh, you lost.
They did lose. I remember that.
Yeah, they lost, but
lost.
we'll be back.
Right.
One thing I kept hearing about is I think the elitism was a big downfall for them too, because a lot of like the exit polls, people were being told like what really turned you off, and a lot of it was like if it comes down to picking a crazy person and a person that talks down to you, people will overwhelmingly pick the crazy person because at least he talks to you like a human being. Kamala spoke to her supporters like, you know, Ukraine is a country, and it's a smaller country, and Russia's a bigger country, and Russia's a neighbor. Like, I feel like that whole talking down to, like, I'm up here telling you heathens and you peasants, basically. Bless you.
Thanks.
I think that was a big downfall for them. All the polls that I've been seeing about how, people were much more likely to find a candidate too liberal instead of too conservative, or
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like I think it's the end of woke culture.
Yeah.
Like, you definitely like the Democrat Party has to come up with a whole new marketing strategy. They can't, like, your elitism thing. That's not going to fly ever again.
yeah.
Like, and the whole like having a candidate who can't go on Joe Rogan will never fly again. Like, they've got to have somebody who can sit and talk for 3 hours. Like, they just can't put somebody together, and then they have to have a solid record, because like we'll just look up on the phone. No, that's not what happened. You did this, and like the other thing where they lied so much in different instances of the election, where it would go online and they're like, oh, this is what happened, and people are like, no, that's not what happened. This is what happened. And with Twitter being owned by Elon, it didn't get banned. So now like it's you can't hide anymore. So now they're like the whole DEI thing of them winning because of diversity. They can't do it. They got to win by merit now. Like, they have to come up with a better strategy, a better candidate, and try to win back things, or they're not going to be able to do it.
It remains to be seen if they'll actually heed that advice, because I mean, a lot of what I'm seeing is people blaming groups of people. It's like, white women did not come out for Kamala Harris. We lost the election because of Latino men and white women. And
Yeah,
like,
they did.
Yeah.
fucking look at. Nobody likes what you're saying. Change what you're saying. It's not the fault of a group of people. Like,
I think everyone's just kind of tired of the last almost 4 years and everything that happened, the economy, everything. I think most people are just tired of it. Yeah.
What about like him telling Zelensky it's okay to launch missiles into Russia? Do you know that happened today?
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
What happened?
So Putin said, if you give Ukraine long-range missiles that can shoot into my country, that's going to be viewed as an act of war. And in the last 2 weeks, Biden okayed the sale of long-range. What were they called, Omar?
not just the sale, the straight up use.
Like, sale and straight up use of what they're ATCMs or something like that.
It's just basically long range missiles shooting into Russian territory. So right now they're only being used in Kursk, the area of Russia that's occupied by Ukraine at the moment. But because of this, now Germany has authorized the use of even longer range missiles that can go like into Moscow, basically. Now, the part of our involvement, which is still hazy right now because it's so fresh, but what our own government is telling us about how these missiles work and how the Ukrainian officials are saying it is completely different. Because according to Ukrainian officials, they pretty much just select the targets, and we pretty much do everything else. Like, what Ukrainian officials are saying is basically the American government comes along and says, hey, these are your options. You can strike this target, this target, this target, or this target. And the Ukrainian officials go, all right, we'd like to strike that one. And then the Americans put in all the coordinates, and they hit go, basically, and they launch the missiles.
Yeah, but the missiles are on Ukraine soil.
They are. But,
they're not like being shot from
well, yeah, but they're being
Nevada.
They're being programmed by us, basically. Not only are we giving them the options of where you can strike, which is basically us selecting what the targets are, we are, without American input, this is what the Ukrainian officials say, those missiles would not be launched.
No.
But our government completely denies it. They say, no, Ukraine does all of that. So it's interesting that there's that.
Yeah, that's what's going on right now, Dean.
But they didn't shoot any missiles yet, did they?
Yeah,
Missiles into Kursk.
The what?
6 missiles into Kursk so far.
Today?
Last night, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah, and today I think the U.S. took their embassy out of Kiev, which is crazy.
We're done here. Have a good time. You know, in like Kiev was like the rave, one of the rave capitals of the world. Like they have like these underground discos.
Oh yeah,
that are like miles long. Like Ukraine used to be like the party city. Everybody would go there and holiday because it was so cheap. And
including
like,
Hunter.
Yeah, like cheap drugs and women and yeah. It was like it was also the white supremacist capital of the world.
Yeah.
Do you guys see the documentary of like the white supremacist metal fest that was there every year?
No.
That was crazy. It was like thousands and thousands of people listening to white supremacist death metal. And they would all come to Ukraine. It's true. Like, you fucking look it up.
Yeah, it is true, yeah.
So, Luke, you brought a show and tell?
Yeah.
Why did you bring that show and tell?
I don't know. Just thought it would be cool.
So, how many weeks have you been doing the podcast?
23. Or not probably 10, maybe?
16?
Yeah, probably around there, yeah.
And how long have you wanted to bring your Tech 9?
Oh.
Since day one?
Since I got it. We didn't even have the podcast back then, but I was like, this is sick.
Why is it sick?
This is a pre-ban Intratech.
Intratech.
Tech 9.
Pronounce it right.
Sorry. Intratech's from the Office Space, but yeah. Made in Miami. It's really cool. I got it used.
The home of great firearms, Miami, Florida.
I got it with the barrel shroud, but it looks cooler without it, I think. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun to shoot. You can't really get them anymore.
Is it clear and safe?
It is clear and safe for all the people out there.
The people at home?
Yeah. It's just a lot of fun to shoot. It looks cool. Like, it's in Grand Theft Auto. It's in a lot of movies.
How is it a lot of fun to shoot when you can't hit anything with it?
Because it's fun. It doesn't jam.
You can't hit anything with it, and it jams.
It doesn't jam that much.
It's more accurate when you shoot it sideways, I think.
It hasn't jammed for me ever. It's jammed for other people, but not for me.
Do you know, so you bought that from us, right?
I did, yes.
Right. Do you know when the person came in and brought it to me, you know, I said to him?
What?
I said, okay, first off, this doesn't shoot, right? No. It jams, right? It jams. I said, so how much you want for it? $600.
And
that's the opening conversation with people when they bring in Tech 9s. They're like, look, this doesn't fucking work. How much do you want for it? I'll buy it, but I don't try to tell me this is like a working firearm. You're the lucky one.
Well, a big thing is it has this rubber like buffer in the back. And a lot of times when they're this old, they degrade.
Oh, so you changed out the rubber buffer.
And I changed out the rubber buffer.
So you went and did some massive research online?
Yes.
And the secret to the Tech 9 is the rubber buffer.
The rubber buffer, yeah.
Omar, did you know that?
I did not know that.
See, Luke knew about guns, something about guns. You did
You're
not.
slipping, Omar.
Did you know about that, Dean?
No, I did not.
Fuck.
I did not.
I've never researched the Tech 9's inner workings.
And you shot that gun, Omar. What did you think of it?
Oh, it's amazing.
And wasn't I there? Why? And I didn't shoot it, did I, Luke?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No. You don't really.
I was like, get that fucking thing away from me.
I would have told him the same thing.
Probably blow up on me.
The sights are off. But
The sights are off.
They're
What
way
fucking
off.
Sights are on there.
it's just like a
You can't use
You
the iron
notch.
sights on that.
yeah, I know. But
The iron sights, when I try to use them when I'm bench shooting at take aim range with my splatter targets, they are slightly to the right, about 4 inches. But I just
Kentucky windage, you know?
I make adjustments in my head, and I'm extremely accurate.
Know your holes. That's all you need.
Know your holes. I tell that to my wife all the time.
Holds.
Oh, holes. Sorry. I'm all about the holes.
But yeah, it's sick. And I got the rubber band like in the movie Falling Down when he wants his breakfast. He has that on his.
I have a sticker of the falling down guy in a magazine.
Nice.
It's like my favorite.
It's iconic, man.
Yeah. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, this is the gun.
That's not the gun. The sniper gun is the gun.
Well, this is one of them.
Oh, okay. It's just like one of the guns.
Yeah. But yeah.
I think I quit drinking on like playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
It's a great game.
Like when I decided to quit drinking, I just fucking sat home with that game and ice cream.
Nice.
I'm not leaving. I'm just gonna wake up and not stay here for a week, and I won't be drunk anymore. That's what I did.
You got a show and tell?
I do. This is one of my prized possessions. See, I saw you creep in here with it, and I was like, motherfucker. So this is my Luger. Do you guys know the story of the Luger?
No.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's it's World War II, all matching numbers in pristine condition. I can put the serial number in and allegedly find out where it came from. I've never done it. I assume it came over here as a trophy. But I had a very sniffly young lady come in probably 10 years ago when we utilized our pawn license and was like, "Hey, I need to pawn this." And I said, "Okay. Whose gun is that?" "That's my granddaddy's." I said, "Does he know you have that gun?" "Yes, he does." I said, "You need quick money?" He's like, "I do." And I'm like,
Wow.
$150.
No way.
Yep.
You bought that for
Damn.
$150?
Yep.
Whoa.
And
So-
she never came back.
Fuck.
Yeah, she never came back.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh, it was so mean to do, but I did it.
It's a fucking...
I think like if it matches to somebody who's like an actual person, it's worth like $4,000.
I'll give you
think-
200 for it.
No.
So have you shot that before?
Fuck no.
All right.
No, I mean I'm not into shooting my guns. Not like my old trophies and shit.
yeah.
You know, I sold one the other day. I sold my 1903.
Yeah, why'd you do that?
We needed money, and I'm like, it's fucking sitting there. Like, I do have a fear of dying, and then my wife just giving all my shit away. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, like I can only imagine like Lori's like. First off, hopefully or not hopefully, but I assume she would be sad. And then she's walking around here trying to figure out like what to do, and then like Luke comes up, "Hey,
Luke.
Lori, I'm really sorry about your loss, but Will really wanted me to have that spas up there." "I'm feeling. What do you think, Luke? You should just take it." "Oh, really? I mean, I can give you like $100 for it." "No, Luke, just take it. I got insurance money." You know what I mean? And then the A-team rifle, like, here comes Chris would be like,
Yeah, Chris.
"This is an authentic A-team rifle. You know, he really would want me to." And then, but I do have a fear of like, what am I going to do? And I'm almost 60. I mean, I'm 53, so it's not that far away from being that age where you should probably think about getting rid of stuff. Am I being dramatic?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm being dramatic. But so one of my friends messaged me. He's like, "Hey, how much for your 1903?" And I'm like, and I typed him back double what I paid for it, and he's like, "Okay." And I'm like, "All right, fine." So I sold it to him, and then he told me he shot it, and I got pissed.
Guns are for shooting, Will.
I understand that, but when you have a fucking safe full of them. You know, you shouldn't shoot that thing.
Why would you buy something if you're not going to shoot it? It's like buying shoes you're never going to wear, which people do, which I find really weird.
That is weird.
Use your fucking shit.
Because there's a certain time when guns become not guns, but they're historical items. And you kind of just like leave them there. Like like a fucking
couple more rounds won't.
Okay, so let's take the 1957 Chevy to Walmart, and fucking buy some groceries.
No, yeah.
No.
Drive it.
No, man. You just let it sit. Let it be cool.
We differ. We differ in opinion.
But
especially if you're thinking about getting rid of them, shoot that Luger.
No,
you can't take it to your grave.
Oh,
you want him to have it? You want him to sweet talk Lori and have it? Shoot it.
No, I think if I die, I'm gonna probably like I'll buy I think if I ever get to the point of dying, I'll buy a boat. And probably like a shitty boat, and I'll fucking make Lori put all the guns in the boat and me in the boat and fucking burn me. Like the Vikings.
Yeah, just send it down.
Yeah, just put me in the middle of the island.
If I can't have it, no one can.
Just burn me. Do you know about the Viking Funeral?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so just like that. I mean, I'd hope she would jump in there with me, but no, it's not happening. She'd go find a boy toy in a couple weeks.
No.
Oh, yeah, she would.
Not a couple weeks. I don't think so.
What? Hell no. Ask her. She said stuff about it. I'm like, you would. I remember I asked her one time, I was like, you wouldn't date somebody again, would you? She's like, yeah, probably. After a while, a couple months or something. What? What are you talking about? Really? She's like, yeah, I'd want you to date somebody. I'm like, I would fucking die alone. What are you talking about? No?
Oh,
no, but this is it's one of the few things that I got from the pawn business that I'm pretty proud of. And maybe I should go shoot it, but I don't want to.
No, don't shoot it.
Yeah. I did have one time we had a 1911 come in and it had like a serial number of 100 of 3 digits.
I think I remember that.
You remember? You probably. We didn't have the fucking pawn license at the time.
No, I don't remember that.
Like we had a guy come in and he had like a really, really low digit 1911 in pristine condition, and he wanted maybe $700 for it.
Jesus.
And you can't buy something in Florida without a pawn license, and we didn't want to break the law, so the guy left.
Oh,
I do have this theory that all this milsurp stuff is going to go down in price once all the people hoarding it die.
Or they just get buried with their boats.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like that's how the Viking funeral would.
So, what do you guys think happened to Antifa? I think they had kids and fucking got fat.
Nope.
No, you think they're still there?
Yeah.
Like, where are the armies of people that burn cities in 2020?
False
where
flags.
Well, I think.
No.
Yeah, where are they?
I mean, I understand false flag, but where are they?
They're at home smoking weed, fucking playing video games, probably.
Yeah, and they're fat, and they've gotten their
dollar.
Oh man, do you know one of our employees referred to his girlfriend as a they them?
I heard about this.
How'd you hear about that?
What?
People talk.
Oh,
I didn't hear this.
Oh man, so I was walking out, and then one of the employees was like, yeah, me and my girlfriend. I was like, why weren't you here yesterday? And he's like, well, me and my girlfriend, they didn't want to. He started referring her as they, and then them, and he went on for like about a minute. I said, did you just fucking they them your girlfriend? And he's like, yeah, well, that's what I referred to her as. I'm like, I mean, man, I think you might want to rethink that. AOC dropped her pronouns from her Twitter account. I think it's going away, man.
Good.
Yeah.
Hoping so. There's a very, I don't want to say very large, but there's definitely a percentage of the population that is so engulfed in echo chambers that
I don't
hard to save.
I don't think it's that large. I think like the amount of population is like 1%.
I think it's more than 1%. You got to think about how many people are in college. Like,
right, but
college is a brainwashing.
I get you, but like your college friends who you have are ringling people.
No,
and
I'm not just talking about my college friends. I'm talking about just college people.
Yeah, but college people, it's not cool anymore. Like it's not cool to be.
I still remember when I was touring colleges, like people, when you first show up, they ask you your pronouns. The first thing
It's
you
a
do at
trendy
college.
thing now.
Yeah,
and it's
but
like you said,
Omar,
it's
that
cool.
was how many years ago? It was 4 years ago.
Yeah,
Like a lot of things changed in 1 year. This was 4 years.
I suppose so. I mean, I can definitely hope. I'm probably a little bit more pessimistic than I need to be. It's scary, man. It's
100%
doom and gloom Omar here.
I've seen people.
Omar, we won.
I've seen people lose their common sense, like their ability to critically think in their first year going to college. Like just completely lose it. Just turn into a parrot. Went from being a person that I can have an actual conversation with to go to someone who just repeats whatever they heard on TikTok over and over again and will not listen to anything else. Like it's sad. It's sad to see.
It's sad.
You can no longer have a conversation with the person because all they do is just repeat the same talking points they've heard over and over again. And I've seen people that,
I think you have trauma.
Probably.
You've got trauma, dude. I think you generally have trauma from like your high school, like your last couple of years from high school, and then your friends turning against like your way of thinking, and then it skewed your view.
It's not even that it's against my way of thinking. It's like genuinely like completely losing the ability to look into things. They will no longer, if they hear information from a specific source, that's it. End of the line. You'll never look into it. You just take it as. I've had people tell me to my face, like, "You're really gonna vote for someone who just said that she would kill Liz Cheney by firing squad?"
No, did you really hear that?
Well, I can't vote, so not.
No, but
verbatim,
did anybody really say that to you, or you just
Yes.
you just saw somebody say it?
No, someone has said that to me.
Who?
We wouldn't know it. It's a person I still know.
Really?
Yes.
Like you have friends who are that
Yes.
out of their fucking minds.
I mean, I wouldn't call them friends, but it's like people that I was friends with that I still keep in touch with, and it's just insane.
Yeah.
So when you were in high school, because you're a little bit younger than me, how involved was like politics? Like, did you guys talk about politics in school? Like,
Yes and no. It was a very surface level thing of politics. It never really went into. I mean, in ninth grade when I was still in Turkey, it was obviously very different. I was very involved because I was in debate clubs and all that. After I came here, politics just kind of degraded down to you either are on one side and repeat your talking points, or you're on the other. That's kind of how it went. So the political conversations we had, you can't. There's a wall you hit where you can't get past it. Like if you start talking to someone and the first thing they bring up is something like systematic racism, there's nowhere to go after that. If you disagree with that person, there's nothing you can say that will change their mind because the whole worldview is different, especially at that age when you're in high school. Whatever information that you've gotten up until that point, you've set your mindset and you are so closed off to changing it. It doesn't matter which side you're on. Political conversations were always between people who agreed, like just repeating things that you both agree with over and over to each other. And because the other person, they may as well be speaking fucking Turkish. They're telling you things like, oh, well, all these, Z's are theys, thems, like
They, them.
It's a whole different language. It's a whole different universe.
How did you hear about that?
What?
How did Luke hear about me questioning what's his name about his they them?
It was
Somebody-
really funny.
Huh?
somebody
really
told
funny.
me. I don't.
Oh, you weren't there though.
I know they came over here.
Was this today?
Yeah.
Today, yeah. I almost lost my fucking Twinkies. Because I've been the same guy. I like after the election, like I sat him down inside the office and because I heard he voted the other way, and I said, look, there's some things you need to know about in life. Like if you work in an environment where it's 99.9% working class, that you should probably not spout your views off, or people are going to make fun of you. And then I just went into like the reasons why Kamala was bad, and like I talked about like the military industrial complex for like 20 minutes and said look, you've been like, it's all about this. and it's all about the endless wars. And that's who's controlling everything. And you understand that the person you voted for is vehemently against the Second Amendment. You understand that, right? And he's like, no, what? No. But then like, so I thought like I thought like a light bulb went off. And so for him to say, yeah, they, blah, 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 them. I was like, whoa, did you just fucking really do that? Oh my God. Does he do that all the time? Yeah? Or you're not going to...
Just a head nod.
Well, why doesn't anybody fucking say, dude, like, stop your bullshit?
It's how these people see life. And it's like, it's not something that you can just educate out because it goes against their... It would shatter their entire... It's so easy to be a liberal if you've never paid taxes or rent. And all that you view it as is this moral high ground you can claim for free just by saying, I support the current thing. It's such an easy decision to make when you haven't lived life, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
If you're just out of school, you've never had a job, your parents pay your rent, or you live with your parents, or they pay for everything. You don't work a job, you're not employed, you've never had to pay taxes. It is so easy to look at the two political sides and go, well, these guys say they care, so I'm going to go with the guys that care.
Right. No, I mean, I even explained to him. I said, look, like they want to raise corporate tax, and I said, you understand, like if corporate tax gets raised, right? Like that means I make less money. That means I fire people.
You might as well be speaking gibberish to some of these people because in their minds, all it is there's this side that's literally Hitler and Nazis and racists and sexists and xenophobes, and there's this side that cares about people. Which one do you want to be? Well, I want to care for people. They don't look into anything that's actually, makes an impact on anybody's lives. That's why it's so difficult. And that's why I had the opinions that I had about the election results. Is just I overestimated how many of those people there were, and I thought other people were underestimating it. I'm very happy I was wrong. Very, very happy I was wrong.
I think they're all fat and they can't make it to the voting booth.
They're just unemployed.
That's nasty. That was so bad for me to say.
I think there's also like another liberal too. It's like the person that went to high school, went to a good college, got indoctrinated, got a really good job at like a big ass company.
Oh yeah.
That gets paid a lot of money, so they don't really know what it's like to like live paycheck to paycheck.
Exactly.
They don't care that gas is up this much. They don't care that food is risen because they make so much money now. They've never had that
exactly
struggle.
The funniest thing that I've seen is when people are saying like, I can't believe you chose lower grocery store prices over my right to choose what I do with my body. It's like, dude, you're talking about you're talking about families being able to afford putting food on the table, and you're knocking it down like, it's just $1 more of gas. And it's like, the level of disconnect these people have from actual day-to-day reality for most Americans is insane. And that's why they lost.
I would like to meet one of those ladies one time and just say, ain't no one going to fuck you. So that's bad, isn't it? Maybe we should edit that out. What did you think of the Flux?
The Flux. It's very cool.
I shot it.
I've always been anti...
Oh, you're anti-PCC, like...
Not PCC, specifically.
Chassis.
I'm anti putting a handgun into a non-handgun
Yeah,
chassis.
You don't like the Roni?
No. I've always been like anti-Roni, anti all of that. This thing is... Only difference is they make a holster for that.
Yeah.
You can carry that on your thigh. And like, that's pretty cool.
So your hot button was, well, I mean, if there's a holster... it's a whole different ball game. I won't touch the Roni, but man, if there's a holster.
The way that I look at it is if you can bring a Roni somewhere, you can bring a honey badger or a rattler. Or
you just like holsters.
Or Tech 9.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not holsterable,
Protect
if you can take that with you, you can take an actual rifle with you, which will just be more effective in every single metric.
Okay.
That actually has a use case of like police officers, for example. They can actually carry that. If you're open carrying, you can actually carry that on your person. You can pull it out and go, have it on your side, just pull it out, hit this button, and it's deployed. Like that's neat. If they had this sort of like shootout auto deploy stock for any other firearm, I think that'd be amazing.
I don't think you could sit in a car with that though.
Probably not, no. But
we need the goddamn lawyer.
Yeah.
I mean, I just
trying to get him on the podcast.
Physically, I don't think you could like have that in.
Not with a 30-round mags, but if you
Yeah,
So
maybe.
was it comfortable shooting though? Because when I held it up to my shoulder when I was looking at it, 'cause it looks cool as fuck.
It's
I'll admit
amazing.
that. But it didn't seem like it'd be comfortable.
No,
to shoot.
it's amazing. So
Yeah.
I the first so I loaded up like 9 rounds and shot them and did you sight it in?
laser.
Like it was dead on.
Awesome.
The first bing 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 and ding ding ding. I was like, oh. And then I went out to I was at 25 yards and I went out to like 30 and I'm like ding ding ding. Oh. And then I did 50 and then I did 75 and I was like, oh gosh. And then I loaded another mag and another mag and another mag and I was really, really impressed with it. I don't understand how it's that accurate with it being that short of a barrel.
I mean, the whole selling point of the 320 was, I remember you had the little poster.
Oh,
of
yeah.
The M17 and how much more accurate it is than the Beretta M9 after it's got 100,000 rounds through it or whatever.
I wish somebody was there because it was just me shooting on Sunday and because our range got taken away from us. Is that permanent or are we going to get the range back?
That's temporary.
Okay. But it shot so well, it was shocking. And the erector in that configuration is pretty quiet, but it does get hot.
Oh, yeah. It's very, very lightweight. It's very thin. I think it's an aluminum can.
Yeah, I'm almost to the point where I might switch to steel cans.
Steel cans?
I mean, it's the whole the heat mitigation thing. Like cans getting too hot, it's kind of irritating.
I mean, steel's going to be better, but it's not going to solve that issue.
I'm on the quest for a different 5.56 can.
Get the Hux, the Flow 556.
Yeah, but it's titanium.
The
The Flow 556 is not.
yeah, that one's steel.
I will try it, but
But
it's
you also got to consider titanium. Also, in my experience, I don't know if there's any actual science behind this, but whenever I go shooting with a buddy of mine who's got like a Sandman on his, mine heats up faster, but mine also feels like it cools down faster too. I don't know if there's any actual science to that, but that's been my anecdotal experience.
yeah, it catches the burn proof on fire.
Those are burn proof.
Yes.
How does it burn proof?
What do you guys think about the ATF change, like under the Trump administration?
Brandon Hera. Please, Brandon Herrera.
Who the fuck is Brandon Herrera?
Brandon Herrera is
How do you pronounce his name?
Brandon Herrera.
Herrera.
I don't know. Hispanic last name.
Like who's Brandon Herrera?
He is one of the big, gun YouTubers that's really cemented in the culture. He's the guy who invented the AK-50.
But does the AK-50 work?
It does. There's
Okay.
only one, and it works.
There's only one.
Oh, yeah.
There's only one.
It took him years to make. And anyways, he's always been a very based, very, very funny. One of the key figures in firearms internet culture. And last year, he ran for Congress because the congressman for his area was a rhino. Says he's a Republican, but literally just acts as a Democrat. Like one of his main things to attack Brandon was calling him a white supremacist, like straight out of the playbook. So he wanted to.
Is he Spanish? Mexican?
Yeah,
I thought he was like Lebanese.
he's Hispanic.
Pretty sure he's Lebanese.
He's Romanian. My point is he's not white, right?
Not really.
Okay.
Anyways, he did that race, and it was very close. He lost, but he's going up against, the
The
establishment.
establishment.
And he got very, very close to winning, and it kind of set a lot of people's asses on fire. Like, you almost lost to a fucking YouTuber. You've got millions of dollars of funding behind you, and this guy's got a YouTube channel. But
It's like Mike Tyson.
that was kind of his step into the political world, and he went and he met with Matt Gaetz to do a lot of hearings on ATF and
Yeah, the brace thing.
yeah. Overall, I love Brandon. I got to meet him at SHOT Show. It's one of my
Oh, you did?
yeah.
Oh, nice.
He's one of my favorite people of all time. And on RFK Jr., because RFK Jr. had this website basically where people can vote on who they believe should be appointed for a position. At the very top of the ATF director with 30,000 votes, I think it was last time I checked, is Brandon Herrera. And he has stated what he would do, and it is everything I want.
So he's gone with it and he's running with it.
Yeah, he's
Like, what does he want to do?
so his whole thing is he's a Second Amendment absolutist, just like I am.
Absolutist. Machine guns for everybody.
You can't repeal the NFA as director of the ATF. Only Congress can do that. But you can interpret the same way they do now, just in reverse. So a couple of the things that he's mentioned that I think is just genius is like silencers. They're defined by Congress as anything that mitigates the noise of a firearm, basically. It never defines by how much. So if you define a silencer by anything that reduces the sound of a firearm by 100%, if it reduces it by 99%, it wouldn't be a silencer at that point. It wouldn't be a firearm. It wouldn't be serialized. So it's like these interpretations you can make to the NFA that completely throw it over its heels. There's also, in the Hughes Amendment, which was the amendment that banned new manufacturing of machine guns, it states that the ATF, at their discretion, can create a 90-day amnesty period where more machine guns can be registered. So if he were to, for example, when he gets in, say, hey, for this 90 days, this 3-month period, just for the $200 tax stamp, anyone can register a new machine gun. And then so many of them get registered that they can be interpreted as in common use. And we already know by the Supreme Court decision, if it's in common use, you can't regulate it. These little things where you can't outright repeal the NFA, but you can interpret it in ways where it kind of nullifies.
Has he posted any talking, any like communication with the Trump administration or with Matt Gaetz?
I'm not sure about that, but I know that he's made a video about basically saying this was not on my bingo card of being at the top of the list for director of the ATF, but I'm 100% willing to and able to, and I will do my best. And at the he sent out a tweet, and at the end of his tweet, he said, Mr. President, if you appoint me as director of the ATF after your 4-year term, I will hand you ashes, basically. I'm paraphrasing, but he basically said, I will, destroy it from the inside out. And I love that.
That's kind of scary.
Brandon,
Yeah, that's a little scary.
Yeah.
A little scary.
Oh, I love it.
I like them, but that's a little scary.
I mean, of course, this is all like taken it to the very extreme, but like the whole silencers should not be regulated.
Yeah,
I 100% believe silencers should not be regulated. If the way we can do that is just by defining, because the ATF can define with their rules, if we just define it as anything that literally makes a gun 100% quiet, then anything that doesn't make it 100% quiet, you can just buy off the shelf.
Oh, that would be a glorious day.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
Yes, it would.
And they would make so much if he did that 90-day amnesty period of being able to register new machine guns. First of all, think about how much money the federal government would make in 90 days. $200 each. It's a lot of money.
God, Nate would be busy. We would be busy.
It'd be like when the braces, when you had to register the braces.
Oh my
Remember that?
God.
We had to do the schedule and everything.
All day long.
I've
You
never
would just start.
spent time.
You just start registering lowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything. Sears. When originally in 1986, when the Hughes Amendment first went through, there was one company. This is one of my favorite stories of all time. One company realized that it's now or never. Whatever we stamp as a machine gun right now is going to be a machine gun. If we don't, we will never be able to make more. So they looked through and they tried to find the simplest thing that they could manufacture that could be a machine gun. And it was basically an auto sear for the FNC, which is like not common in America at all. It's a European rifle. And they made auto sears. They just started mass producing auto sears and registering them as machine guns for the FNC. And they made so many of them that I'm pretty sure right now there are more auto sears for FNCs than there are FNCs.
What's an FNC look like?
Kind of like
a AK-5. I
Yeah,
don't know
it's
if you know what that looks like.
kind of like a FAL and 5.56, sort of.
But that was one of the hidden gems. You could buy registered FNC auto sears for not a lot of money, like less
I've
than
never seen them.
up until like 2001.
Oh, okay, that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You could buy auto sears for that thing for like under $5,000 all the way up until 2001 until people finally caught on. But
Yeah, I've seen these.
Yeah, it's a gun that Pacino uses in Heat, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? See, I always thought that was a 308 in Heat.
It's that one. It's
Yeah,
either
I'm
that
pretty sure
or the
it's that.
Swedish AK-5. They're basically the same thing. The Swedes make their own version of it.
Do you guys think Matt Gaetz will get in?
I hope so.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we control the Senate, And I feel like the message that this election sent is like, we're not tolerating, rhinos, basically. If you would have to oust yourself as the person who went against the appointment, basically. And I feel like that's kind of political career suicide at this point.
Yeah, man, they don't like him.
Oh, I know they don't like him, but explain
Luke
it
wants
to the
his
voters.
babies.
No, I don't.
You'd fuck Matt Gaetz.
No, I want to shut up. No, I mean, I think he has
I'd
a lot
fuck
of.
Matt Gaetz.
He does have a little bit of baggage with the whole.
He does.
He's
my fucking hero, though.
Yeah, him doing the bill to abolish the ATF was pretty crazy.
Oh, I mean, I've got some trauma dealing with it. I mean, you want to talk about like trauma, like, oh my God, like the ATF, like they're scary.
Yeah,
They're scary. And like the way he went at him for different things and shit, I was like, fuck yeah, man. So like when I heard about that appointment, I'm like, Jesus, no way. It's going to be a really interesting year.
The appointments are amazing.
They're amazing. What about like Tulsi Gabbard got national security director?
Yeah.
So she's in she's going to be in charge if she gets the appointment. She's going to be in charge of the people who put her on the no-fly list.
Labeled her a terrorist, yeah.
Yeah. She's going to be in charge of them.
And then
Oh, wow.
he ended up going for health, but I thought it would have been the funniest thing ever if he made RFK the director of the CIA.
Yeah, no.
That would have been so fucking funny.
No, that's Tulsi's, that they're under Tulsi as well, right? The CIA is under the national.
I don't think the CIA is under anything. I think that.
Oh, there.
I think pretty much since 2001 they've kind of been above literally everything else.
Have you seen the Lioness show?
No.
It's on HBO.
I heard.
It's about like it's about like chicks in the CIA and they're like assassins, but their weapons they use are pretty good. Like they all have spears, and they change the uppers for the mission.
Cool.
Yeah, we're gonna go through the 300 this time. And
I've been wanting to see just proper portrayal of firearms in movies for the longest time, and you get close, but there's never. I don't think there's a. I mean, obviously historical ones aside, like modern day weapons being 100% accurate in movies. I really want to see that.
I would check this out. It's like they've
What is
got.
it, though? That sounds.
They've
exactly what I'm
got
asking
like they
for.
all have spears. They all have sig cans. They all have burn-proof covers on the cans. They all have the right optics. They have the right night vision stuff. The only thing that they do that's not that I noticed in movies when people are moving around with nods, like they'll always stop and put their nods up, and you get a face shot.
Yeah.
Right. But
Cinema's going to be cinema, but
beyond that, like it looks pretty accurate.
It's crazy that TV shows can get it right, but the Navy can't get it right.
backwards fucking talking.
Do you guys think Biden's going to do anything in his final days against the Second Amendment?
No.
I hope not, but no.
What could he do?
I mean, I don't. He just
Anything.
fucking gave Ukraine long range
Yeah.
missiles. He can do anything he wants.
I think that was mainly because I think
Fuck with Trump.
No, I think the reason for that, in my opinion, because I'm still of the opinion that Biden voted for Trump. I fully believe that. I think the main thing for it is when Trump gets in, it's basically going to be, we're at the negotiations table negotiating peace between Ukraine and Russia. Likely Russia's going to want to keep territory. If Ukraine is able to keep Kursk, that puts, when Trump gets in, that puts them in a much better position because now they can go, hey, you give us our land back, we give us your land back. And, obviously there's going to be other things to it. But I think the main reason for the long-range missile thing was just to put Ukraine at a better spot at the negotiations table once Trump gets in.
What about the 10,000 Koreans?
The North Koreans.
The North Koreans.
Yeah, there's like 10,000. There's supposed to be 10,000 of them.
Yeah, they're all watching porn.
I was just watching the porn.
Yeah.
They've got internet access for the first time and food.
Can you imagine like seeing fucking dirty old European U porn on there?
I would argue most of them will defect. I don't think they're going.
like fucking like European porn is dirty.
Can you imagine you grow up in North Korea your entire life, join the military in North Korea, and like that's all you know, and then suddenly you get deployed to this fucking most horrendous war zone.
Horrendous.
And and there's fucking porn.
They're not going to want to go
And everybody has Starlink in their phone.
They're fucking gnawing on MREs. Fucking, fuck yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely not going home.
Fucking Sergey is bitching. He's fucking Koreans. They won't stop yanking. You know what I mean?
They haven't really quite understood the concept that they look very different, so they'll just like pretend to be Russians. Privet.
What do you think about the 1301 getting banned?
I just heard about that today. What got banned? Like
The 7-round
grip?
tube. The 7-round tube.
Oh.
So there was the Beretta 1301 got banned like from import. It was actually like the 1301 is actually imported from Italy, and the 7-round tube is not R922 compliant, allegedly. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The ATF has this thing against like automatic shotguns with high capacity, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And like
Bad.
they'll name certain guns destructive devices by name just because it scares them. Like the Striker 12s, the Street Sweepers. I think certain SPAS 12s were also labeled DDs, where you have to pay your fucking $5 transfer fee to get them. This is just them extending it over to the 1301 for some reason, and only the 1301. Like there's 19 Turkish shotguns on that wall that
That's a great
they don't give a shit about the Turkish ones.
Because they don't work as well.
Yeah, it's one of those things where they just got scared by it and basically banned the import of it by name. But next year, Beretta's going to start importing in 5-round tube ones. Then I'm sure they'll be selling 7-round tubes here stateside.
I got buku emails from distributors trying to sell me a ton yesterday. You know, because that's usually what happens in the gun game. Like when something gets banned, like back in the day, like if something got banned, if there was a whisper of it getting banned, fucking run on it. Like people would come in by the hundreds and buy everything. Not no more.
Yeah.
And like nobody like I got 1301s. I'm like, yeah, you have 500. I'm gonna hold off and buy a couple.
Yeah.
But you didn't see a rush of people coming in today for 1301s.
No, because I mean, you're still going to be able to buy them. It's not like ownership of them is banned. It's just import of more of them are, and then by the time the supply here runs out, they'll have the 5-round tube ones coming in. I'm glad I got mine when I did, though.
Fuck the 5-round tube, though.
Well, I'm sure you'll be able to buy a 7.
I'm sure someone will figure out a way to build one.
I think Beretta will probably just do it here in.
I mean, they have the one for the
Yeah.
A300. It can't be that much different.
Exactly.
Do you guys? So this year we're doing Toys for Dogs again. Do you remember?
Oh, nice.
I don't know what that is.
Were you not here last week?
You're manufacturing toys?
No, we have a really big or really solid relationship with an organization in town called Satchel's Last Resort, and it's the only non-kill shelter in the area. And you know, like non-kill means like, so if a dog goes there, it will never be killed. It can live out its days. And our gunsmith, who isn't supposed to be named, his name's Nate. His mother works at Satchel's. So in business, a lot of people ask you for money, if you will. Like a lot of organizations will hit you up all year long. Hey, can I have a free gun? Hey, can I have $200? Hey, can I have $1,000? And as a business, you have to kind of figure out, well, who am I going to give money to? And so what we do as an organization, we give money to my kids' school, different veteran organizations, and Satchel's. And we kind of focus on that throughout the year. And Satchel's is one of the ones that we give most of our extra funds to. And last year we did a thing called Toys for Dogs. And what we do is there'll be like a fucking drop off, and people can come in and give food, toys, different things, and we'll give them raffle tickets for a tricked out Daniel Defense rifle that Daniel Defense is going to donate to us, and then we'll put the shit on it, and then it'll be like a kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
Do you remember now?
Yeah, when you first said Toys for Dogs, I thought you were making like Shark Ghost branded dog toys.
We're gonna shut down all the CNC machines and make toys.
Aluminum CNC dog toys.
Tomorrow. Everybody will be pissed. Colby, I hear he's going to make us make fucking dog toys now. He's fucking crazy, Toby. Why don't you just tell him to stay home? He comes here, he fucks everything up.
Who are you impersonating right now?
One of the painters. I just like, they all hate me. But yeah, so we're gonna do it again this year, and of course I'm using this as a shameless plug. But when we did, they got more donations last year than they ever have in the history of.
That's great.
They had to come by 9 times
and fill the car up every
fill
time.
up the SUV every time.
That was crazy.
And I think it lasted all year, so we're going to do the same thing. It's going to go live on the radio promotion, I think this week or next.
Nice.
Awesome.
Do you have a dog?
I did. Don't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah. And you got your dog from?
Yeah, I got Roscoe from Satchels. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what one of my regrets is? I don't have many, but one of my regrets is never growing dreadlocks when I had the chance.
What?
Oh yeah. Like never growing dreadlocks is one of my regrets.
I never want to see that. I don't even want to picture that. Someone will feed it into AI and make it happen, and I will not watch. I will not look at it.
I've got long hair. I have pictures of me with long. But they had that one. Remember that one dog?
Yeah.
Fuck, man, I should have got that dog.
I thought you were going
The
to.
Shiba.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Oh man, I should have got that fucking dog. Like they had a dog one time, and it was born with a deformity, and she came in here with it, and I was like, "What the fuck's wrong with that dog?" And the Satchels person was like, "Well, we need to do this." And like that day, I hit social media. I'm like, "Hey, if you come in and donate to this dog, I'll match it in cash." And we had the money, I think, in a day to fix its legs. And then I could have kept the dog, but at the time, my wife was like, "No, we have too many dogs." And now we have fucking 9.
I got Chapo.
And we have he would have been so cool, and I didn't that's one of my regrets in life was never getting him. But he went to Roger, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Now I have 9 fucking dogs that shit in the bed.
That could have been the last one.
What? Yeah, no, he could have been.
Like, Shiba's it. No kids. Fuck you, Thrasher.
That was a really cool dog, too.
He was so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're so cool.
I love Shiba Inus. They're my favorite dog breed.
Yeah, he looked just like the dog that died.
Yeah.
Doge.
He looked just like my Basenji Shaka who died.
Speaking of Shiba Inus, Doge is crazy big. That's one of the. I think that's one of the most influential things that will happen to this government in the country's history.
Maybe.
Department of Government Regulation, Department of Government Efficiency. My bad.
Well, the thing is the one thing I worry about is my only expectation is the economy could get better, and we will see what we saw last time. We saw the economy got better, and from what I remember, like people didn't have the level of wealth that they do now, or starting around 2016. Like you didn't have fucking the wall of cool shit. Like people just didn't spend that kind of money on guns. But my fear is the tentacles of the blob, the tentacles of the deep state will come out and fucking control Matt Gaetz and control Elon and control Vivek and control Tulsi, and then nothing will get done.
I don't think so.
I mean, it'd be great if they fucking clean house.
I mean,
can you imagine there's no excise tax anymore?
I'm talking strictly of the fucking rot. Like the Pentagon failed its 7th audit in a row, and they cannot tell you what they did with $850 billion. Do you know how much money that is?
It's a garage sale.
It would cost between $11 and $30 billion to end homelessness in the United States per year. That's how much it would cost. They can't tell you what they did with $850 billion.
I don't think you can end homelessness with money.
Sure.
It's not a matter of money.
I understand that.
People
I'm
want to be
talking
homeless.
Like anybody that needs a home could get a home in the United States.
Have you met homeless people? They don't want to. They don't.
I understand that.
Okay.
I'm just saying purely on paper, you could get every person that doesn't have a home for between $11 and $30 billion a year. $850 billion. They can't tell you what they did with it.
You should get into politics somewhere.
God, I would not.
I've got too many skeletons in my closet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This podcast is probably going to be the skeleton that fucking pops up if we go into politics. It's like, here on episode 17 of the Shark Boost Tactical Podcast, Mr. Omar said something about North Koreans getting bombed.
Oh, Paul. Look what she did with the hole.
Yeah, this is not good for my online footprint at all. I
No,
fear
you're
that.
speaking your truth. It'll be all right.
Ah, sure. It's just like, what's my truth now could literally be the difference of you having a job and not in 10 years. I'm hoping the country's reversed course, and I'm hoping this election means that. But again, me being the pessimistic guy I am, there are a million things you could have said in, early 2000s that would literally get you fired from your high-paying job today. I'm hoping that goes away.
I really think that, so I'm not saying that Democrats will never win again, but they've got to completely change their strategy. You have to have a marketable strategy for the voter, because the problem is you cannot rely on the mainstream media anymore to proliferate your gaslighting, and they could rely on that in 2020. They can't rely on they've got to put a candidate up who can speak for at least an hour, who has a viable strategy that will give the majority of Americans something that they want. And people want economics. What's important to Americans is their pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And government spending, right? Government spending and the whole Democratic Party focus of big government, it's not going to work anymore. It'll be exposed.
Can you imagine where we would be if Trump did not turn his head? That's the craziest.
We'd be selling a lot of guns.
That's the craziest thought to me, is that the difference between where we are now and where we're going to be for the next 4 years just came down to this.
Basically his ego. His ego saved him. He's like, I fucking like that. I like that. Or was it over there? He was looking at look at this. This is what I did.
There were some reports a little bit afterwards, obviously unconfirmed, but there were reports that he would sit there and he would just watch the video over and over again of him turning his head and getting shot in the air, turning his head. And I can't imagine how that must feel for him.
Yeah.
Having high definition video of the moment where you chose to turn your head however many degrees and you would have died if you had not.
The RNC was the next couple of days later, and he came in and he did his speech and he went on for 2 hours, and he sounded like he was high on painkillers, and he sounded tired and old, and he had just did the fight thing, and when I saw it, I was like, fuck, I thought we were done. I thought he might win, but can you imagine, all right, the fucking mental fortitude that you have to have.
Yeah.
Okay, so the government that you are trying to save has not only tried to put you in jail, has not only cheated, but then they tried to fucking kill you. And people, instead of and then half the country, instead of rallying around, yeah, they tried to fucking kill that guy, bastardized him even more. I mean, imagine you talking about shit, how bad it must make you feel. And I thought he was just gonna be tired and would just mosey along at the end of the election. But no, he went and won the election, and then instead of chilling, he fucking went gangster. Starts announcing all this shit. There will only be 2 genders. Just going crazy. And then Matt Gaetz, Tulsi Gabbard's in charge of just guns blazing.
Vance talked about it a lot on the podcast about how he didn't sleep for 48 hours. Just keeps going. And they wouldn't, no coffee. The guy doesn't drink coffee.
He drinks Diet Coke, though.
He lives off of Diet Coke. He goes.
I can relate. I like Diet Coke.
Oh my God.
I'm into that. I like McDonald's and Diet Coke, but I don't like Milky Way. I like Snickers.
What do you feel about Barron Trump?
He's fucking tall.
That's a big dude. That's going to be the
big
God
dude.
Emperor of the United States.
I mean,
So who do you think the Democrats will run in 2028?
Newsom, but they've got to spend the next. He will lose. Like I'm not like you've got to be able to. So you've got to be able to put whoever you want to take over on Joe Rogan with a fucking plan, and you got to be able to garner. You've got to be able to win the podcasters. Like America is influenced by the podcasters. Yeah. You can't have fucking 100 million views of a podcast and not recognize the importance of it. You got to be able to go on these long form podcasts and convince the fucking podcaster that you are the man and you have the plan. And if you can't do that, you're not going to win.
Yeah.
It's the 2024 elections changed everything. Unless there's some new fucking long format, but media is dead. Like it's the gaslighting of the gaslighting that we see on Fox, on MSNBC, all these, it's not going to work anymore. They've got to create a marketable candidate who can fucking convince the podcast nation to say, okay, yeah, maybe this guy has something for us. And Gavin Newsom isn't it. Because he'll get on and he'll get on with his good looks and his wonderful hair, and then someone will say, so what about fucking San Francisco? What about people shitting on, there's an app where there's shit everywhere in California, right? They'll put, look at this app. Like there's no hiding from the internet anymore.
The one I fear the most is Gretchen Whitmer.
Big Gretch.
I hope they don't run her. Because
I don't think Democrats win the next two elections, to be honest with you. They're kind of dead right now in the war.
They're dead.
I mean, Trump's not even in office yet. We have to see how it goes. Again, he's going against the deep state. Like the
deep, the
there's
blob.
a lot of things that they can do and pin on him very easily to make the next 4 years awful, regardless of what else
It's
happens.
true, but I think he's making the appropriate moves and naming all these people. He's doing what he needs to do. I think we'll be fine.
He needs to get Eric Prince and Dan Bongino as his fucking heads of the Secret Service.
They're just going to hit us with COVID again.
And then we'll just be like Dean and pull out ivermectin.
I already got some on the desk in the bag. We're good.
Mark my words, Gretchen Whitmer is the most evil person in the United States.
Have you guys seen the Sean Ryan podcast with The Exorcist on it?
No.
The Exorcist?
Is that a new one?
It was from a couple episodes ago, but he's got The Exorcist from the Diocese of Nashville. Because he's from that area.
Yeah.
And he's Catholic, I assume. So he's got the fucking, like there's an exorcist in what? Oh, because Luke's Catholic.
Yeah.
He says he is.
That's if you're Catholic, you can do that. You can like never ever think about. And
thank you.
Yeah, you can do that if you're Catholic.
Exactly.
Once you're Catholic, you're always Catholic.
I was raised Catholic, but I don't think I'm Catholic
he's all right.
anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I have to say that.
What?
Pope Francis.
What about Pope Francis?
He's all right.
His ideas on foreign policy, in my opinion, are not the brightest. But no blasphemy here.
I'm not listening to Pope Francis. But anyway, so this
thank you.
This guy talked about about exorcising demons for good 2 hours, and it was pretty fucking convincing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I gotta see this.
Yeah, it's scary. Like I think what's a better explanation of a fucking school shooter?
The CIA.
Besides them.
Psychotropic drugs.
But he was saying like his thing is demons will use psychotropic drugs to take a hold of you. Mm-hmm. It's really scary shit. But this guy, who seems to be completely normal, like he fucking talks about demons and talks about possession and talks about like it's in entertainment, it's in politics, and it's in video games, it's in music, it's in the entertainment world, and it's bad. And he went on for a while, and I was like, fuck. I looked at my wife like, that seems pretty believable.
Yeah.
I think that I think fucking Satan's everywhere. I'm scared. I do think like I'm kind of I'm over here with that. Like I think like I'm kind of that way. I think Satan's real.
Yeah, I'm with you.
We know Luke does because Luke is
I'm
Catholic.
Catholic, good Catholic boy.
Pentagon, pentagram, coincidence.
What do you guys think the Danny PCC is coming? It's supposed to be here this week,
Wasn't it supposed to be here
last week, and the week before, and
It was
in
supposed to be
August.
Q3, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was supposed to be in July. Supposed to be in July. I can't even remember how it was.
No, I won't be here.
It's kind of like having. It's kind of like it's like having sex like for the first time. You know what I mean? And like I know I did it, but I can't remember anything about it.
Really?
I'm 50, dude. Yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah. I'm 50 years. I'm 40 something. Maybe I don't know. But allegedly, it's supposed to be here. Is there any buzz on it anymore?
I think the buzz has died, but it'll probably come back.
I
once
haven't
they
heard
hit it.
anything.
Yeah.
Well, the buzz is completely dead on that gun over there.
Yeah.
The Hudson.
Yeah, the Hudson, the
It's a
H9.
Daniel H9. Well, but apparently they re-released it. So these are the new ones. There were some issues with the first ones that came out. Then they
Redid all of them.
Yeah, redid all of them.
Took a year to come.
I guess it has new barrel, new spring, and a new grip something on the back. I'm not really sure what they
And
changed.
if you have one of the old ones, you can send it in and have it turned into one of those for free.
Yeah, it feels different.
Yeah.
It feels great in the hand. I think the reason it didn't really...
So they changed it. They did.
The reason I think it didn't kick off is just that... Who's this for? Can you tell me?
No.
In my mind, this is a hipster gun. This is the gun that you get if you don't want to be like everybody else who carries a Glock or a SIG or a Smith or an HK. In my mind, it's a hipster gun. I mean, the real thing of it is this is Daniel's introduction to the handgun market, but at the price point it's at with everything else on the market, again, I would like to preface this. I've shot it. I love it. I think it's great. I personally have not yet met someone who can tell me what gap in the market does this fill.
No, it's to capitalize on Daniel buyers. Because Daniel buyers buy Daniel product, and they'll buy the handgun.
I mean, the warranty's fantastic.
Absolutely.
The gun shoots great. It looks really cool. But it doesn't do anything drastic. Like, it, in my mind, it doesn't have any... Apart from being a Hudson, it doesn't do anything that something else has not already been doing.
It doesn't shoot much better than a Glock 19.
It shoots pretty nice. The trigger's definitely better.
It's not that much better than a 320 then.
I'll have to take your word on it. I'd never touch a 320.
You just shot the Flux.
It's different.
It has a safety too.
That's true.
All right, so we're going to call it. We appreciate you guys watching our podcast. This is episode 23. Remember, if you can, like the page. If you watch the whole episode, thank you so much. Remember, we do this to promote our business and promote our internet footprint. If you can, share the podcast, tell people about it, put a comment in the feed. If you think I suck, tell me I suck. If you think we're cool, tell us we're cool. Check us out in Sarasota, Florida on Bee Ridge Road. We have a wonderful gun shop. Best product in the area. Great Instagram page. We have X, or formerly known as Twitter. And we also have Shark Coast Tactical on Facebook at SCT Customs and Lasers. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And we're out.
Always. Peace.